Alrighty guys, I have a little update here on the truck. Actually, it's not on the tractor. Tractor's doing just fine. Just been sitting since I've been in school, but I have not taken the truck out to school. And after spring break, because I'm currently on spring break, the truck is going to be going out to school with me. So there's a couple of things that I've needed to do, include an oil change. I still have yet to do that. I grabbed a fixed blade fan, an adapter that I had at school, brought those back with me because I've been having cooling issues with the truck, where I could be going down the interstate and I could be anywhere from 200 degrees to, I'd say about 212, 214-ish coolant temperature wise. So that's been a little bit alarming. Up here is just I got two boxes here of junkyard parts, including a non-lean burn air filter assembly, and I got throttle cables. One of those horns in there is actually my original one. It's the one on the right. It's dead. I grabbed both horns off of one truck. Turns out the low horn on that one is also dead, so I still only have a high horn. Using my roommate's Pringles containers as hardware. But I have a wiper motor in there, some delay wiper harnesses, the hood release cable. That's actually my old one because the knob was broken off. I have a 2-barrel carburetor. And this one, that's actually a Jefferson bell housing. And I have some more plug wires, a shifter, and another air intake for the air cleaner here, the plastic piece. And I just got a bunch of other little miscellaneous parts here and there. But most of the stuff is actually changed on the truck. I don't know if I've really ever made a video directly of just the truck. I know it's been seen in other videos. But I know it looks good in the picture, but it's filthy. I need to wash the thing before I go back. But not a whole lot has changed on the outside. Matter of fact, nothing has changed on the outside. The first thing that I did change on this truck was the dash bezel. It now has a wood grain dash bezel instead of the black plastic one. The alarm clock, which is not the correct time, used to be duct taped to the top of the dashboard, so that cleaned it up by putting it in that cubby. This truck also has an AM/FM radio, which I put in. It's an original radio. I'm still working on the floors. I have the floor mat out because I have a little bit of rust to take care of. Just some surface rust, but mostly I just need to seal the cab up again. Otherwise, nothing really new on the inside except for, I know they say electric lock on them, but I like them better than the original ones because the original ones were just black plastic. And from the outside they look pretty good. So I have two of those. But most of the changes have happened under the hood. Now these trucks, for those that know, these only have the pull cable from inside the truck to open the hood. Well, I didn't like that I could only open the hood from the front. I gotta remember which hole it is now. Great. Where did I put it? I have a, good, now I see I've got to go underneath because I can't find, here it is. So if I reach underneath here, I have a piece of wire. As you can see, that now pops my hood. I still have the cable hooked up from inside the truck, but, okay, this hood is really hard to open one-handed because it's a heavy hood. I have lubed the hood hinges up, but it's still kind of stiff. But I have this piece of wire here, and this has a loop on it. This sticks down in this hole, and it's hooked up to the head release mechanism, so I can manually open the hood that way. I've added this rubber mat because this was not on the truck. Kind of hard to see, but down below where all the couple of leaves are, there's a rubber mat underneath the radiator and AC condenser. There's supposed to be a transcooler on this truck, but there isn't, I found out. That rubber piece keeps the air, get you back in focus, and the rubber piece it fits directly up to the bottom of the radiator and keeps the air that goes through the front grille going through the radiator, because the air is going to want to take the path of least resistance, and the sides are all closed off because it's solid metal that the radiator is mounted to. So it can't go down, it can't go to the side, but since I was missing this rubber piece, it allows the air to go up and over the radiator and not be pulled through it. So having that on there actually helped some of my cooling issues. I do have a V8 fan shroud on this truck. That's the only one I could find. Slant 6 ones are offset, so I have little metal tabs on both sides that push the fan shroud a little bit towards the driver's side. Since the Slant 6, which is what's underneath the hood of this thing, the water pumps are off to the side of the engine so that they have more, they can fit these engines in tighter vehicles. Matter of fact, this engine was designed to fit under the hood of the 1960 Plymouth Valiant. That's why it's 30 degrees off incline. A couple of other things that I've been up to lately. I've finally got a proper battery tie down, so now when you try and move the battery, it shakes the whole truck. As you can see, it's shaking the whole truck pretty good. I think I found out that this truck has an aluminum head on it because it's silver and it's not black. The block, I'm pretty sure, is black. I did find out that it's the original distributor kit because it's brown, or tan, sorry, not brown. Kind of looks brown, but it's tan, and that was a Dodge, or a Chrysler thing, I should say. But there's lots of oil residue on the side of this block. You come back up here, and it's all along the top here too, so my valve cover gasket is gone. Also, the paint on this valve cover is in really, really poor shape, so I'm thinking I'm going to take this valve cover off eventually and put a new valve cover gasket on it and repaint it. I also need to do exhaust manifold gaskets because, as you can see, it's pushing exhaust right against the firewall, so that's no good. Also, this hose here, from here to this distribution block that goes up to the compressor, this line is leaking, so that's why the AC doesn't work. There's duct tape on it just so I remember which line it is. There's not enough pressure for the system to work, but if you crack this nut, it'll start hissing like crazy. So I know that there's still pressure in it, but just not enough for it to work. And I've been thinking that maybe that the fan clutch that is not nearly in the best of shape anymore, because I could spin the fan. It doesn't coast, but it moves pretty easy. It's not all that stiff. So that might contribute to the fact that this truck runs kind of hot, but I won't know until I drive it around town. And it's been sitting for a while, since, well, roughly, let's say the second week of February. It's now about the second week of March, so it's been sitting for about a month. But there's going to be no cold start on this thing today because I don't have anywhere to go, and I'm not just going to start a truck up just to start it up and shut it off. It's just wear and tear. Plus, I need to see if this battery is actually going to behave, because that's the original battery that came out of my truck. I thought it was from 2003, from June of 2003, but on the other side of the battery here, sticker that says it was shipped in May of 2013. So this battery's from 2013 and it's only 6 years old. So I wasn't about ready to give up on it yet. It cranks over my truck fine now. That well, just about as well as the other smaller battery did, since I put the battery tender on it and brought this battery back to life. But we'll see how it does when I need to go places. I need to checked the brakes on this truck, because I've never done that since I've owned it. Crazy as that sounds. I've owned the truck for a little over 3 years. I also have a pretty bad valve stem leak on this wheel, on this tire, because you can see it kind of sags quite a bit. If I spray water on, or soapy water around the valve stem, it will bubble around the valve stem all the time. Oh, sun's back out. That's nice. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say on this truck for now. There's also some holes that have been plugged on the roof of that truck, and the reason is because this truck was a state of Illinois Department of Transportation. My mind is slipping me today. And actually, inside the glove box, it says State of Illinois Department of Administrative Services, Division of Vehicles. So I'm not sure what part of Illinois it worked for at one point in time, but it still has all the information inside that booklet, so I thought that was kind of neat. But yeah, so there used to be a nice beacon of some sort, probably an amber beacon, on the roof of this truck. There might be one up there again eventually, but you'll just have to wait and see. So until then, I guess that's all there is to say on the Dodge for now, and I'm going to continue working since the weather's finally starting to cooperate and be nice. So until the next video, I will see you guys later.